One things I've realized from like analyzing different types of people and most people and seeing consistent actions is that the people that never reach their potential do some of the same things over and over again, but they're almost marketed or taught as this is normal or normal actions or things people just deal with or do. And nobody ever sees the flaws in them. We just keep repeating things. As somebody that's analyzed great people, people have reached their dreams, people that talk about what it took to reach their potential. And for me, I feel like I'm constantly reaching my potential. I'm constantly achieving my dreams every chapter of my life. I'm somebody, if you don't know me, I'm Jamar. I'm an inspirational speaker. I tour the country speaking in schools all across the country. I've spoken in over 35 states, over 235 schools. I'm living out my dreams, but I'm actually going for more dreams. And I'm constantly chasing more and more of my potential because of habits that I've realized that I've seen maybe in family, maybe in my peers, maybe in people in school, maybe just average people, maybe at old jobs. I'm like, these are things they were doing every day that they didn't realize while they were normal was killing what they could be. I've talked to so many people that I see so like if you don't know me, like if I had to describe myself on one of my biggest like strengths and weaknesses is the fact that I can kind of see everyone's potential. I can see big potential. That gives me a problem sometimes because I'll stick with somebody, whether that's a relationship or that's friendship, whatever, and I'm investing in their potential, but they're never becoming it because they've never kind of let go of some of these habits. That's a whole nother video. But all I'm saying is I see potential in people because I see past what they're messing up on and see what they could be. And so today, maybe you all have that potential. I know you have the potential. You watch this video. You even clicked on this video. That means you have the ambition. You just have to stop doing some of these things that you've been trained to do that are just stupid. That it may be what most people do, but do you want to be like most people? Like it gets me like, why do people do the same thing most people do, but they want to be somebody that's special, that's extraordinary, to become? And okay, I'll probably get into the video a little too much, but what I'll say when I'm writing down this list, for the most part this morning, I wrote down 13. I mean, I wrote about I really wrote about 10. That was like, okay, it's gonna be 10 habits to kill that kill your potential that normal people do. But the last three were three things I thought were really important. The last one is something I think it changes everything for your life. Once you gain this, when you break this habit, this perspective, it really changes everything. So I really hope you watch the end one because it's going to really change your perspective on what you can do and what your potential really is. Because really, it's not just the fact that you're killing your potential; it's the fact that you don't even know you have it. And this last one is going to change that perspective, and it's something that normal people fail to realize. And so let's get straight into it. And I'm starting off the day clumsy. Let's get straight into it. And again, if y'all ever have any questions or want more intel, I don't know if intel is the right word, more information on a specific one, I can make a video on this specific one. But these videos, when I do it numbered, they're kind of like me trying to give y'all a certain style of video that a lot of people like. But again, let's get right into it. Like, comment, subscribe, all that cool stuff. But let's get into it. The first one is complaining instead of embracing. One thing normal people do every single day is complain. Oh, my life is this. Oh, this person did this. Oh, I don't have this. They're constantly complaining. They see everything as a negative in their life. They're trained to constantly almost see the problem. They're trained to always see the negative perspective. Normal people always see the negative perspective. Normal people are always complaining about what they have to deal with. Newsflash, everybody has something to deal with. Part of life is the fact that we have challenges, we have problems, things aren't perfect. Things will never be perfect. And I think we put ourselves in a cell. We put ourselves in a box when we start thinking that these challenges, these things that are happening, our situations, are things to be complaining about, to be mad about. The things that I've seen in heavily successful people, whatever you deem that is that they essentially see everything as an opportunity. They say, "Oh, this is a challenge, not a problem." And everything I go through is happening for a reason. Everything that's happened in my life, while they may have sucked in the beginning, I may have said, "Why is this happening to me?" In due time, I realized it was always for me, never why me. I'm somebody that was diagnosed with cancer at 19 years old. Of course, I said why me at first, but now I wouldn't be living this life speaking all across the country without that story, without me learning how valuable every second in life is. Without, you know what I'm saying? That was for me, okay? The breakup was for me, bro. It allowed me to love myself more. Everything you're going through is happening for a reason, and it's an opportunity. But the only way you can go Only way you can grow from what you're going through is to embrace it, not complain about it. Every time you complaining about it, you're pushing your growth further and further away. Okay. And the thing is, the problem will eventually be solved when you stop looking at it as a problem and just embrace the problem as an opportunity, as a challenge. Normal people miss out on so much potential because they have the wrong perspective of their problems and their challenges. They're not just bad things, they're opportunities for you to grow. If you were lifting small weights every day at the gym, I promise you your muscles wouldn't get bigger, okay? It's in the heavier weights that allows you to grow and get stronger. So you have to be able to see, if you don't want to be a normal person, you have to be able to see all your challenges, all your problems as opportunities to grow. And that's everything you go through. Everything. And if it's not helping you grow, at least it's giving you perspective to have more gratitude in something, okay? I'm not going to sit here and say everything that happens is something to be happy about, okay? You lose somebody in your life, that's not something to be happy about. But it can allow you to be more grateful for other people. Everything's an opportunity to grow, to gain perspective. If you don't do that, you're just missing out on so much potential. Next one. Never take leaps of faith. One thing normal people do, and it's in their DNA, is to be logical, is to almost like always play it safe. They're always trying to make sure they're okay. But when you play it safe, a lot of people like to say, like, I'm afraid of the risk of failure. I'm afraid of the risk of, things not working out. But what about the risk of forever regretting something? What about the risk of never knowing your potential? What about the risk of forever thinking, what if? Normal people play it safe. Great people risk everything for what they want because they realize even if I risk everything and go for it, as a human being with survival mode, I can always get back to okay. But me not going for my dreams is worse than okay. Okay, for me not quitting my job and going for my dreams and being an inspirational speaker, even though I would have been making a decent income, even though I would have been, living in a nice city with a nice apartment, I would have been quote unquote okay to the outer world. My parents would have been like, my son's okay, he's providing for himself or whatever it may be. But my mental, my spirit would forever think, man, we're not fulfilling our potential. Because even if things go wrong, you're going to grow. It's in the things that you fear the most that allow you to grow. So if you take leaps of faith and guess what? The risk that you're worried about doesn't work out. I bet you it's still going to be better than not going for it because you're going to grow in the process with that heavier weight. But people like to, play safe. But that's how you live a life you're not supposed to live. If you want to be able to find out what you're made of, you have to be able to take leaps of faith. And leaps of faith isn't always about getting what you're taking a leap for. Sometimes a leap of faith gives you clarity to something else. Sometimes a leap of faith is just allowing you to grow in one part of your skill set that's fueling a different dream that you haven't dreamed yet. But taking leaps of faith is all about trusting that your heart, your intuition is taking you somewhere without needing to know the complete answer. That's the problem normal people can't deal with, is they need to know the outcome of their actions, but nobody really knows what's going on. So just take your leaps of faith, go after what you want, and see what happens. Regardless, you're going to grow, and that's how you get to your potential. Okay, and another reason they do some of these things, and this is the third habit, overvaluing others' opinion. This is gonna be a good video. This already is a good video. I'm excited. I hope y'all enjoying this. I'm enjoying this. Okay, I'm enjoying this. But overvaluing other people's opinion. Okay, you're constantly seeking advice, and it's cool. That's fine. You watching this video. But I'll be the first to tell you, the person you need to listen to isn't me. It's yourself. It's your intuition, your heart, what you feel, what you want. You see what I'm saying? I think what we have to realize is the only person that's not ignorant to our lives is us. Everybody else is just making their best guess. There's no one way to live life. There's no one way to be successful. Successful is whatever you deem it to be. And so for somebody else, successful could be, living in a nice city with a big apartment. For you, that could be doing what you love to do. And it doesn't matter if you have the biggest apartment, whatever it may be. People will give you advice based on their definition of success when we all have different definitions of success. And people will also tell you what to do, not just because they want you to be successful, maybe because they have their own fear. Like one of the things that I know with lots of experiences, like when you're dealing with parents and you want to go after what you want, they care so much about you being okay and safe that they can't process your need and want to be happy. Okay? And so if I was to overvalue their opinions, I would have done things not to make myself happy, but to allow them to feel okay about my situation. But then I wouldn't have been okay. I would have looked okay, but I wouldn't have been happy. You have to go after what you want. Other people's opinions isn't your problem. Somebody doesn't want to support you for you going after what you want. That is not your problem. That is their problem. Do I need to say that again? If somebody doesn't want to support you for you going after what you want, that isn't your problem. That is their problem. That is their own insecurities. That is their own whatever. You going after what you want, you following your heart is the number one priority in all of our lives because it's what allows us to reach our potential, which then allows us to help more people than we can ever imagine. A quote I live by is being selfish enough to do what you love to do is the key to helping as many people as possible. A lot of us, we sacrifice for other people. We never take care of ourselves. Therefore, we never become the best version of ourselves, which never allows us to reach the millions or thousands or however many people we're meant to meet. We all have a purpose beyond our imagination, but we miss out on it trying to please people we're not even meant for, trying to please people that have their own insecurities, okay? Nobody knows you like you know you. Nobody knows how you feel when you're doing that thing you love to do. Like right now, I'm in peak, like this is happiness to me. I love doing this. The camera's on. I got a whiteboard where I can explain my thoughts and I can just talk. Like I love this. And there's nobody in here right now, so I can say whatever I want. I can speak freely. This is me at my best, okay? This is me being happy. Nobody can tell me, hey, Jamar, you shouldn't do that anymore. That's not going to make you. I don't care about the money. I love doing this. It was actually going to make me the money. But that's another story. But don't overvalue. I'm not saying not to listen to other people. I get game from a lot of people. But the number one opinion I'm always going to value in my life is my opinion, okay? Remember that. Another big one, and people don't do this enough, not learning who you are. Boom. Now, I know this one may sound a little cliche or normal, but like most people never go about the path of actually learning who they are. They're just allowing the world to tell them what they should do. They're just allowing the world to tell you at this time, you're 20 years old, you should be doing this. At 25, you should be married. You need to figure out who you are. One of the coolest things about life is that you are constantly learning about yourself, and it's like this never-ending puzzle that you have to learn to fall in love with. And every time you learn something about who you are, you apply that to your routine and what you decide to do with your time. And so it's super important to learn who you are. Who are you? I'm not talking about your name, your parents, where you're from, what school you went to. I mean, like, who are you? What do you love? What do you value? And when you figure those things out, it allows you to then navigate where you're going to go to reach your potential, where you're going to go to be challenged. If you don't enjoy doing something, it's harder for you to push through a challenge because you don't actually like what you're doing, okay? Every time I hop on this camera, it's a challenge for me. You know what I'm saying? But I love the challenge. There's some challenges I don't love, so therefore that's not where my opportunity is to grow. You have to find who you are. How do you find who you are, Jamar? Now, I make plenty of videos on that. I suggest you go into some of my other videos. I suggest you actually book me to speak at an event. That's actually my specialty. I help people find their passion. But I'll give you a quick run through. You have to try things out constantly, but actually reflect on what you're trying out. So every time you try something out, ask yourself why. If you like doing it, why? If you didn't like doing it, why? And then ask yourself why again. So if you like doing it because you like being competitive, why do you like being competitive? Well, I like being competitive. And then all those answers, why not and why, give you data that tells you what's the next thing to try out, okay? And you keep going down this, and it's like process elimination. Eventually, you're going to find things you absolutely love to do regardless of the results. And those are the things that are going to allow you to unlock your potential, okay? Oh, I feel like I explained that very quickly when usually I talk for like 30 minutes on that topic. But I'm trying to keep it concise so we can get to, I did promise y'all these joints are really good. So, I'm trying to get through it. But you got to figure out who you are. Reflection is key. Meditating for me, visualizing, that stuff is big for me. And when you learn who you are, make sure you make decisions off of that. If you learn you don't like doing this, don't keep doing it because your friends are doing this. Get new friends. They can still be your friends. Just don't do that stuff with them anymore. You know what I'm saying? But that's another video. Okay, after that. And then and this kind of goes into my next point. Not doing things you're passionate about. I cannot stress this enough. Doing things you don't like to do, doing things you don't love to do, doing things you don't passionate to do is probably the biggest thing that's killing your potential. Because again, like I said, things are going to be hard no matter what in your life. The opportunities are in the things that are hard. So you have to find something you love to get through the hard. I'm personally not going to be able to go through the hard of something I don't care about. Okay? I can go through the hard for this because it's something I care about. Therefore, it's going to allow me to reach my potential. Every stage I get on is hard, but I love the stage. You know what I mean? If you told me to solve geometry problems, I'm sorry. That's not the hard I'm going to grow from, bro. I'm sorry. That's just not it for me. You need to find what you love to do. If you're doing things you're not passionate about, you need to be trying to find what you're passionate about. Or if you know what you're passionate about, you need to be making the time as much as possible to get to do that, because that is your opportunity to push through hardship. That is your opportunity to become the best version of yourself, doing things you love to do. I don't care what anybody else says. There's a way to make money out of your passion. There's a way to make a career out of your passion. All you have to do is be creative enough to think about different ways to connect that to people's problems. I'm telling you, there's nothing you can't make a career out of, make money of. That's a whole nother video. I have a whole book that's about to release on that topic. But just do what you love to do as much as possible. Maybe you have to work your job you hate, but make sure on the weekends you're doing what you love to do. Make sure after 5, like when I worked a real job, I was working from 5:30 to 8 on my passions, and then I went to work and I came back, and from 6 to 10 I was working. There's no excuse, okay? That is your opportunity. Figure out as much of a way to do what you love to do as much as possible. We only have so much time on this earth. Do what you love to do. That's where the opportunity is, not only for you to grow, but for you to be happy. When you're happy, you're more creative. When you're more creative, you have more ideas. And what do ideas do? They change the freaking world, okay? Let's get it. Next one. Never developing discipline. Most people are moved by their emotions, by their current feelings. They wake up in the morning and then snooze, but I ain't gonna lie, I did that this morning. But for the most part, I don't do that as much. I'm no perfect being, okay? But I have developed discipline. They're always doing things off of their current feelings and not what their future self needs them to do. What you want to do to be able to ever reach your potential is you have to build up consistency. Everything in terms of growth, in terms of making progress, happens in compound, with the compound effect, compound interest. There's a whole video I made on the compound effect that describes how things grow in time and they multiply on each other. I'll put that video somewhere, hopefully, or maybe I'll be lazy. I don't know. I'll put that video somewhere so y'all can watch it. But basically, when you're disciplined, you're consistent, things will seem like small steps in the beginning, but eventually they keep multiplying and multiplying and multiplying on each other. But they can only continue to multiply at this crazy rate when you're consistent. And so you have to be able to develop discipline. Every day you show up. I like to describe it as like going on a walk, okay? A lot of people will sprint because in the beginning they're motivated, they're super motivated to get the goal, but they never finish the race because they don't realize it's a marathon. The person that walks every single step consistently, most people, they sprint and stop, and never build momentum. But when you walk and every single day, it's just one step at a time, but you're learning how to take the walk better, all of a sudden each stride becomes bigger. So your big stride is bigger than their sprint, okay? After years and years, you have to develop discipline if you ever want to become something, because it builds momentum. And it also allows you to really be able to see things not just for how you feel, but for what you know you want in the future, okay? It's a beautiful feeling to deny instant gratification for delayed gratification, because all the greatest things in life, all the greatest growth, all the greatest everything comes from you delaying that feeling and going after what may be hard in the now, maybe isn't something you really want to do now, that allows you to pay off in the future, okay? Whether it's me making a YouTube video every weekday I'm at home, whether that's me working out every weekday, whether that's, what I'm saying? Those are things that build my discipline. That I study YouTube for 20 minutes every day, you know what I mean? I'm speaking, so I'm getting better. These are things that are making me better every single day. They're simple actions. I'm not running a marathon in a whole day. I'm just doing one step and treating my whole life as one big marathon. And you have to have discipline, because every time you stop, you then go back to ground zero. But every time you keep doing it, whatever your pace is, oh my goodness, you're just going to keep climbing. It's going to keep multiplying, okay? And then the next one, and I'm going to put this one, there's one that's actually number 7, but I'm going to move it to 8 because it goes with this. But most normal people lack patience. And this kind of goes with that one. Everything you want in your life, your greatest potential, your greatest goals, your biggest dreams, they take time. I like to say it's super important to dream big and believe you can do anything, but don't be delusional in how quick it should happen. Like, don't think I want to be the biggest rapper in the world, but then expect it to happen in 1 month of you trying to do some viral TikTok dance. Like, that's good that you're trying, but great things take time. It takes consistency. And if you are willing to do this for a long time and not make no bread, not get no views from it, then you don't really love it, and you need to find something else, because that's not the thing that's going to allow you to reach your potential. You need to find something you're willing to do for years, not make a cent, not get a view from, and still keep going. I think Ice Cube has a quote. He was like, if you're not willing to do it for 5 years and not make 10 cents from it or not make a cent from it, then you don't love it enough and you need to do something different. And I completely agree. If you aren't willing to do it for a long time and be patient and not need the results, then this isn't going to be the thing that allows you to reach your fullest potential. You need to find something that allows you to really be in the moment, be in the process with it, because that's where the real greatness is. Like right now, regardless if I ever even dropped this video, I was present in this moment. This is me at my genius state because I'm in the process, not thinking, man, is this video going to get 100,000 views? Are these people that are watching this video, are they going to like it? Are they going to subscribe? Oh my goodness, if they don't, my life is over. No, I just made the video, bro. And this is what I like to do. You know what I'm saying? That's when you define. And when you have that energy, you actually become more attractive. And now y'all probably hitting the subscribe button because it's like, yo, this dude don't even care. I don't, but I do. You see what I'm saying? It's that balance, but it's because I'm patient and I'm in the process. You need to be able to look everything as a long game. Everything's a long game. All the greatest things in life happen with the long-term mindset, okay? And if you don't do that, you're missing out on your potential, because even if somehow you go viral, you get quick success, there's a lot of people out there that have done that. But where are they in 5 years? Where are they in 10 years? Because they never built the discipline. They never had the patience to last. They never had the passion to sustain it. And so anything great takes time. Even if you have a great moment, can you sustain greatness? Okay? And if we're going for our greatness, our greatest potential, it takes patience, it takes discipline, it takes doing what we love to do. Okay? And that's something that normal people don't do. Okay? I feel like I'm breaking it down today. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all better show love on this video. But again, it don't matter if you don't. But y'all better show some love on this video. Y'all drop a comment and put real one if you're a real one, if you've made it this far in the video. Appreciate y'all for rocking with me, man. Okay, next one. Remember, I skipped one. Okay, it's a big one. Chasing / needing. Ooh, I can't. Okay. Needing. Chasing / needing. Where's it? Validation. A lot of people get in the trap of validation. They're constantly needing someone to say, hey, bro, that was it. Like, for example, like right now. Like, hey, bro, this is a dope video, bro. They're constantly chasing validation. Maybe that's chasing girls, chasing guys, needing somebody to make them feel loved. If you are always chasing and needing validation from other people, you are chasing and needing something that is never in your control. Therefore, you won't be able to last to reach your fullest potential. You have to be willing to be alone. You have to be willing to be not willing to be alone. Willing to be alone, but you have to be able to be disconnected from things you can't control. Because there will be days where you have a billion people chanting your name, and there will be days where, you know what I'm saying? I think Jay-Z has a quote. It's like, first they love you, then they hate you, then they love you again. Like, it's going to be this roller coaster. And if you want to be consistent enough to actually keep the discipline to build the compound effect, to reach your potential, to reach your goals, you have to be able to not need validation. Okay? If somebody is no longer serving you right, if that girl that was the amazing girl at first now isn't that, be willing to say, hey, you need to kick rocks because I need to focus on my grind. I need to do this. You aren't making me a better person. When you have that, you're no longer connected or needing things that aren't serving you anymore. A lot of us, we keep things, we're around things we shouldn't be around because we need validation. The only validation I need is from the man in the mirror. I love me, man. And so if you don't love me, okay, you can leave. You ain't gotta like me. Somebody else will. And if that ain't another girl, guess what? That's me. Okay, and that's in everything. That's not just in dating. That's in business. That's with clients. Oh, you don't want to use my energy when I'm talking to clients or potential clients. It's gotten so much better because I don't need you to pay me or to book me for me to be feeling like I'm still him. Okay, I'm good. Oh, you don't want me? Great. You have a great day. I'm still happy. Before, I wouldn't get as many deals, book as many gigs because I was needing that person to say, hey, we want to book you for me to feel good about myself. But the moment I didn't need them to do that for me to feel good about myself is when they started booking me more because my energy was like, yo, I don't need you. That's what confidence does. And that's what allows you to reach your potential because it allows you to stay at the best version of yourself because you're fulfilled just by your own love of yourself. Oh, I just dropped some gems, man. Okay, I just dropped some freaking gems. Okay, next one. Okay. Constantly comparing. One of the things that will truly derail you on the path of you reaching your potential, and this is something normal people do all the time, especially on the gram, bro. There's like, dang, bro, got it at 19 years old. He's a big rapper, bro. Or this bro got 1 million followers. Or bro got a penthouse. Bro, all of us are on our own path. And when you realize, again, everything we're going through that we're dealing with was made for you. There's a specific reason. It allows you to have a story, allows you to build up the muscle strong enough to withstand whatever you're meant for in the future that you don't even know about. When you're comparing, you're acting as if, I like to say, it's like you're God, bro. Like, you know what's going on. You don't know what's going on, bro. I hate it, and I do it. I do a comparison. I do this. I'm no perfect. I was actually dealing with this yesterday. I'll be like, dang, bro, got this many speaking gigs. He making this amount of money, but I'm like, bro, he don't got content like you though. You know what I'm saying? He ain't doing the mindset. He ain't got a book like you though. And so it's just like sometimes I have to watch myself. Like, yo, everything I'm going through, every situation, everything I'm in right now is made specifically for me. Why am I comparing yourself? Even if somebody has the same goal, there's different paths to one goal. And even if you have the same plan to one goal, there's different timings because you are in this world for a reason and things you don't even know about. Remember, your purpose is something you can't even process. It's so big. And so there's things happening that may seem like, man, why is this happening to me? Why is it delayed? But it's just preparing you for stuff you don't even know about yet. Sometimes life is having you fail at something so you can remember how this feels, so you can appreciate other things when you get it, or so you can be strong enough for a dream you haven't even dreamed about yet. Just think about that. There's no point of comparing when you don't really know what's going on right now or in the future, or the person that's dealing with something or the person that looks like they're up, they got a bunch of money, whatever it may be. You don't know if they're even at peace when they go to sleep at night because they may be sacrificing their morals to get something, whatever it may be. They're not even okay with themselves. You don't even know. The thing is, comparison is stupid because you don't know what life is preparing you for right now. You also don't know what that person is actually going through. You only see a small percentage of it. Now let's get into the top three, okay? These are really pivotal, guys, okay? Really pivotal. Before I get into them, like, comment, subscribe. Show love in the comment sections. Ask me the questions. I appreciate y'all for watching. This has been a really good video. Now let's get to 10 and 11 and 12, man. This is going to be really good. Learn. The next one is they learn, execute, but they don't execute. A lot of people learn. I think normal people know the importance of learning. I don't think I have to. I think that's a pretty normal thing. I mean, we all had to go to school no matter what. That's a normal thing we all had to do. But most people don't execute. Okay, most people, oh my goodness, I can't tell you the amount of times people will ask me for advice. So they'll ask me like, Jamar, how do you get booked to speak? Or Jamar, how do you do this? And I can give them the whole game plan, but I'm not even worried about them ever becoming competition. Not that I think of anybody like competition, but it's just like, bro, they're not even gonna execute on it. That's why I don't like giving advice all the time because it's like, bro, are they even gonna do anything with it? You know what I mean? Most people have ideas. Most people learn things, but they don't do anything with them, okay? It doesn't matter how much knowledge you have. If you don't execute on it, you're just sitting there with pointless words in your head, okay? You can read every book in the world if you don't execute on it, okay? And the thing is, you learn even more from executing, okay? The best way to get ready at something is doing it when you're not ready. You can't get ready by just reading and learning. You got to actually get in that field, my boy, okay? So Stop just learning, execute. I don't even want to say anymore, bro. You got to just execute, okay? You have a plan, do the plan. If it doesn't work out, guess what? You learn what to do next time. But sitting there on your butt thinking, oh my goodness, am I ready? All that stuff. Oh my goodness, you're just wasting time. Just go for it. I remember one time, my old job, before I quit my job to become an inspirational speaker, I knew I needed to have the ability to kind of edit videos and know how that stuff worked. And I remember we had a project we had to do. We had to make a video and stuff, or just a presentation. And I suggested in my group, let's make a video. I'll edit the whole thing. They're like, you know how to do that? I was like, yeah, I didn't really know how to do it, but I did it. I just executed. I had an idea. I didn't know if I can do it, but it forced me into the pool, even though I didn't know how to swim. You know what happened at the end of that? I ended up coming out with a new skill. I learned how to edit because I had to. My back was against the wall. If I didn't learn how to do it that freaking week, my team would have failed. You see what I'm saying? I didn't know how to do it, but I said I can do it. I did lie. Probably was not good at lie. But I did kind of just like, yeah, I can. Well, I didn't lie. I just knew I would figure it out. So, yeah, I can do it. Ain't nothing impossible. Yeah. But just execute, bro. All the greatest growth and potential comes from you just doing, not just sitting there learning and watching YouTube videos. Now you can watch my YouTube videos, but you know what I'm trying to say. All right, next one. Setting realistic goals. Most people set realistic goals. They only set goals they know they can get. But you know what's the problem with that? If you know you can get it, then there's no growth in it. There's no everything you go grow. Everything you grow from in life is the things that you're like, man, I don't know if I can do that, dog. All the things in my life that I remember saying, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can make YouTube videos like this. I don't know if I can use an expensive camera. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. All the things, bro. I don't know if I could really get on stage and speak to those students. I don't know if I could drive this stick shift. It's too complicated. I don't know if I can become a varsity baseball player. I don't know. All those things are the exact things that allowed me to grow the most. The things I was like, I bet I can do that. I didn't grow, I just did them. So when you, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with setting realistic goals. Yeah, we should have some realistic goals. But I believe everybody in our life at every moment should have at least one unrealistic goal, because those are things that push us. And regardless if you ever get the goal or achieve it, I promise you're going to grow. And so the key to being able to reach your fullest potential is to shoot for the freaking stars and further, because it allows you to grow, okay? What do they say? Like, shoot for the stars, you'll end up amongst the clouds. You didn't even know you could get there, but you got there because you shot so high, you challenge yourself. But if you don't challenge yourself, you'll never know what you're made of. So you have to set unrealistic goals, which brings me to my next one. Oh, dang. Did I skip one? I think I skipped one, yo. So looks like we only have 12. So I'm just going to do this. Yeah, I'm just going to do this because this one is the most important, this next one. Oh, no. I did skip. I do have 13. Okay, where do I want to go? Yeah, I know where I want to go. Not understanding what's possible. Normal people don't understand what possibility and impossibility is. And I'm going to break it down really quick. I have a whole video of that. Maybe I'll put it up here somewhere where I go over the entire thought process of impossibility and possibility, and it changes the game for everybody. But essentially, impossibility is just a man-made concept for things we don't understand yet. We call things impossible because we don't know if it's possible yet, not because it's actually impossible. So everything like this phone, if you would have gave this to somebody like 1,000 years ago, they would have said, oh, you can talk to somebody on the other side of the globe. They'd be like, there's a globe. You know what I'm saying? Everything, you know what I'm saying? Everything was once, I don't know, 1,000 years ago, did we know there was a globe? Like, it was, I don't know. But everything was once impossible until somebody was crazy enough to believe that it was possible, okay? And so when you realize there's nothing that's impossible, it's just until somebody does the impossible, okay? Everything is possible, okay? It just, we don't know about it yet, okay? We could probably teleport, okay? It probably happened one day, all right? It's just, it's impossible right now. Like, it's impossible. They probably said it's impossible for humans to fly. Now, every day you can book a flight and fly, okay? Everything was impossible. Impossibility is a man-made concept to explain things we don't understand yet. It has nothing to do with them actually being impossible. When you understand that, you'll stop just saying, oh, I'll go for this because that's possible, and I'm not going to try. I don't ever pick things I'm going to try for based off of possibility, because everything's possible. I chase things based off if I want them or not. And when you change that perspective, that's when you open up so much potential in your life and you exit out of being a normal person. Okay. Excited for this last one. This is a habit and something I was taught by my late grandfather that's been very pivotal. And I think I'm still needing to learn this more, but it's been very beneficial. Hope these have been good, but this I think is super big because it really changed. This may be the most important, but this one's the closest. This one's really close to me. But this is a habit that a lot of people make. Now, and I think it's one that people don't realize or talk about enough. Always being the smartest in a group. One of the biggest mistakes, biggest habits a lot of people do, they like to be the smartest person in the group. They surround themselves with people that are yes men, or, you know what I'm saying? They'll be the smartest person in the group. But the way to actually become smarter, the way to grow, the way to become more ambitious, or whatever it may be, is to surround yourself with people that are smarter than you. Surround yourself with people that are more ambitious than you. You become the sum of the people that are around you, okay? And so if you want to become great, you got to surround yourself with greatness. If you want to be a normal person, surround yourself with normal people. Or if you already are great right now, maybe you've gotten to another level and you move back home and you're around a bunch of people that are still doing the stupid normal habits, you're gonna get back to doing all these things. Okay. So let's say you move away from home and you move to New York City, you start doing all these things, right? And then after 4 years, you go back home, you start hanging out with your old friends. And even though you're trying to put them on game with all this stuff, eventually you're gonna go right back to all these old habits because we're naturally influenced, bro. And so you have to be able to realize the importance of being the dumbest person in the group. Now, I'm not saying not to be around people that you're not quote unquote smarter than. We all have different things that we're smart about. You know what I'm saying? So there's something you can learn from everybody. But in a general sense, it's important in different sectors of your life to maybe, like, for example, me as an inspirational speaker. There's people I help as inspirational speakers that obviously aren't as advanced with the business, but there's also other speakers that are more advanced. So I'll hang out with them and help, but then I'll also make sure I got to balance this thing out. Be with speakers that are making way more money than me, that are better speakers than me, even though I do think I'm like the best speaker in the world. That's just me, at least on my topic. But speakers that have better business sense with certain things or systems. So you always have to be able to have people that are smarter than you, that are better than you at different things, so it elevates you. You become the sum of the people around you. So you have to balance that. Now, it's nothing wrong with having your friends you just goof around with. I have those too. But I'm not going to make sure that they're the people that I'm with the most, because they're going to be the ones that influence me the most, okay? So make sure, if you want to become a better version of yourself, reach your potential, try getting some of these things off your body and be you, and figure out ways to elevate and really go for the things you want to do, because within the things that are hard, things that are challenging, the things that other people aren't doing, the things that aren't normal are often where the greatness lies. So if you want more videos that allow you to become a better version of yourself, to learn more about yourself, to learn how to find your passion, to learn how to maybe make a life, a career, or income out of doing what you love to do, watch some more of my videos, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you on the next video. Peace.